Hello. Welcome to this new video. This time I'm going to continue with the Splunk Cloud Administration series that I started before. If you're new to my channel, I have created a whole series on Splunk Cloud and its administration and integrating Splunk Cloud with a deployment server to manage universal forwarders on-prem. And I also have different other information security videos and cybersecurity videos that hopefully they're going to be useful to you. As I have mentioned before, if you find this information useful, click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a nice comment, that's good karma, and consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you have something that you think that could be improved or something that it isn't that clear in these Splunk videos, please feel free to leave that in the comment section, because I'm going to be curating these videos in the future once I get some feedback to create a more concise series of videos, like kind of like a book with different chapters, so on and so forth. So with that being said, let me review the configuration that we've been working on for some time. If you remember, I've been working on or creating videos on configuring Splunk Cloud, and then we're going to be managing Splunk Cloud, and we're going to be using a deployment server. On the previous videos, I explained why, in my case, I would like to use the deployment server, and that is to manage the universal forwarders that I'm going to be deploying to the different servers that we have on-prem. And we have Windows and we have Linux servers, as you can see here. These are going to be the deployment clients. And we're going to be using or creating server classes to make the administration and deployment and management easier for us. And we, in the previous video, we installed a deployment server on Linux, which is basically downloading and installing Splunk Enterprise as a deployment server, and we went over the licensing option of that as well. So what we want to cover today, because the ultimate goal is to deploy universal forwarders to the client, right? That's the ultimate goal that we want to get to. We want to deploy them to all these servers, so we're going to be able to collect whatever information we want to collect from those servers. But the way you do it, right? So let me escape this for 1 second and come here. So this is my Splunk Cloud instance, and again, this is a test environment, and I would advise you to always set up a test environment for you to test configurations before you move into productions, of course. I just have to mention that. So this is my my Splunk Cloud test environment. This is the default configuration. As you can see here, I only have the default apps, and one of the apps is the universal forwarder. So if I click here, you'll see that it is going to bring me over to the section where I can download the universal forwarders. But when you click on downloads, that's going to take you to splunk.com, and that's where you're going to get it from. So I'm going to click here, and that's going to bring me over to splunk.com. I was already logged in. I had a session open, so that's going to take me directly to it. If you're not logged in, you're going to be prompted to authenticate. And as you can see here, I'm going to have the universal forwarders 9.3.0 for these different platforms. In my case, I have Windows and Linux machines, but you have more options. Before I get to that point, let me bring up my diagram one more time. In this case, I am going to be using, or we're going to be using, if we're following these videos, a deployment server, because we do not want to just install the universal forwarders on individual machines and not having any type of administration, because if you have a handful of devices that you want to manage and the network environment is not going to change, that may be good for you. But if you are in a dynamic environment where maybe right now you have 10, but maybe next year you're going to have 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, or maybe into the thousands of universal forwarders, you definitely want to manage them from a deployment server, and that's what we're doing. So what I'm gonna do first, instead of downloading the universal forwarder, I want to configure my deployment server to support the universal forwarders that we're going to be using in the future, in the near future, and that's going to be in a different video. So in this case, the first thing that I'm going to do, and maybe other people are going to approach this in a different way, and it's totally fine, you know, all roads go to Rome, right? There's a saying or something like that. Whichever way is going to make sense to you, I'm going to explain it the way that I do it. The first thing that I'm going to do in my case, in my scenario, to reach my ultimate goal, which is this, I am going to download the credential package first, and I'm going to install and configure the credential package on my deployment server. That's what I'm going to do first, and then I'll concentrate on the universal forwarders and the configuration of that and the app, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, and again, if you're wondering how I got here, remember, this is my deployment server, my local, actually, let me rephrase that. This is a Splunk Cloud, right here. As you could see, this is the URL, and I'm gonna be making the configuration for my deployment server, which is this right here, but at the moment I'm not gonna be using anything here. So I'm just gonna download, I go to a Splunk Cloud, then I go to Universal Forwarder, and once I'm here, I am going to click on the credential package, and I'm gonna download it. That should be a quick download. So let me open up a new terminal in here, and I'm gonna go to my downloads folder, and as you could see, this is the file right here that I just downloaded. So what we're gonna do first, and again, you don't have to do the first step, but yeah, it's best practices, so why not? So let's copy this file to a temporary directory, and that's a temp folder. So let me do cp space Splunk Cloud tmp, and let me switch there to a Splunk Cloud tmp, right? And I'm gonna go cd space tmp, and as you could see, here is my file. So this is a tar file, and what we're gonna do, we're going to unzip it from here, and we're gonna go tar space xvf space Splunk Cloud uf, that's spl, but I need privileges, elevated privileges for this, so I'm gonna do sudo. I believe I do, I don't remember, but I'm gonna use it anyway. So I'm gonna type in my password, and that's gonna do its magic. So as you could see, it was successfully unzipped or untarred, whichever term should be properly used in here. And the next step that we're gonna do, we're gonna go into the bin directory of our Splunk folder. So let me go to cd space opt, which is the directory where Splunk was installed, and here I am in my bin directory, because the next command that we're gonna run, we're gonna do it from here. So in here, what we want to do, we want to run the configuration file that we just downloaded, and we need to specify the username and password for that to work. So I am going to go Splunk right from here, and then I'm gonna go Splunk Cloud UF, that's SPL. Then I have to type in the username up and password of an administrator on the Splunk deployment server. So whatever admin account you want to use, and remember in this case we're configuring this on the local deployment server. So I'm gonna use that, the admin user name and password for that. So I'm gonna do auth, and you have to specify the username. In my case it is Splunk admin, and the password for that user account. And again, this is a test environment. I will never recommend anyone to use a password so simple as this in a production environment. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter, and it says Splunk. Oh, I know why, because I have an extra forward slash. So this is gonna be doing its magic, and I got a permission denied because I do need elevated privileges. So sudo, and that's gonna do its magic, and kapam, it's done, right? So as you could see right here, like you're gonna get a warning about the cert, and that's something that if you want, we can take care of that in the future. But in the meantime, now that you have successfully installed this, now you have to restart Splunk, right? So just type in the command, and I'm getting permission denied, of course, and let me do it again. And this is gonna take a few minutes for that to function. So I'm gonna stop this video right here so we don't make super long videos, but this is the first step that I'm taking into the configuration of my deployment server to provide services and manage the universal forwarders we're gonna be deploying to the clients on-prem. And remember, we have the local deployment server, and that is a combination also with our Splunk Cloud. And if you like this information, this video, click on the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and leave a nice comment, you know, like good words and encouragement words. We all need that nowadays in this crazy world. So I hope that you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you on the next video.